What up? This is Music G repping the Underground Army. You're tuned in to Jay Steele's and Act Reacher 45, The War Report. Tuesday nights on YouTube, live and direct is the show. Saturday nights on 93.3 FM CFMU, giving y'all that new news and hip-hop interviews.
What it do, what you saying, what it going, it's your favorite, yeah, your most hater, Oddfella back for another one, yup. Back for another one, TWR presents the Cee Listening Session, live in the war room. Smash that like button as you fall on in. Shout out to all my YouTube family, Twitch family, y'all know what it is. Salute to the L, D, B, C, you know what I mean? Smash that like button, we in store for another dope one. Happy New Year's to y'all, you know what I mean? This is the first listening session of the new year, you know what I mean? And definitely will be starting off the new year with a bang, you know what I mean? Of course, we got C from the Movement fam, you know, we're gonna talk about a little bit about that when he pulls up into the war room. We got him backstage, you know what I mean? But yeah, y'all know what it is. Smash that like button as your phone on in. I believe I got the poll in the chat, you know what I mean? So y'all can let us know. Y'all can let us know what's your favorite track that we playing tonight. Help us outro properly. You know what I mean? That the winning vote is definitely gonna be the outro we playing tonight. You in the dig? But yeah, y'all know what it is. TWR presents. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, you in the dig, because when you do, hit that bell icon for your latest notification. You will get this, because next Tuesday, we keeping it pumping in the year 2023. The Growing Pains listening session, yeah, our boy Fox, the power couple, Fox and Sydney Sexton, are back at it, you know what I mean? They will be in the war room this coming Tuesday. Once again, the Growing Pains listening session, that's 9 p.m. Eastern time, in the dig. So yeah, keep in tune to that. Next Thursday, a week from now, we got Kimbo Red Spliz listening session. He gonna be live in the war room. I believe he might be featured on one of the Steel City ciphers, in the dig. So definitely be on the lookout for that next Thursday. You know what I mean? It's going down, the Kimbo Red Spliz listening session. You know what I mean? Another Hamilton favorite. You know what I mean? Will be live in the war room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And proud to announce the second installment, you know what I mean, of the Steel City Cypher inside the CFMU studios. You know, dig 6 new MCs. We got Dominical Don, 23 Don, as well as Murr, Revenue, Josh Fisher, Diablo, and of course, beats by Mills Grills, instrumentals. Once again, shout out to Self Made for organizing this whole cipher and whatnot. And we back at it. That's Saturday, January 21st. In the dig, 9 p.m. Worldwide. Y'all can stream that cipher at www.cfmu.ca. In the dig, if you in the 905-289-647-416 area code, you can get it on 93.3 FM on your terrestrial radio stations, on your terrestrial radio dials, in the dig. But y'all know what it is. Link is in the description. Y'all need to shop usual. You know what I mean? We got the new Bagwears accessory out for the ladies. You know what I mean? Salute the Cadillac Red, KG over there, Supreme Beast Boxing Talk. Live right now. Supreme Beast After Hours. You know what I mean? Raw and unfiltered talk. But there go the drip right there. You know what I mean? New accessories you can find. ShopUsualSuspect6.com. Link is in the description. You know what I mean? And of course, you know what I mean? We waiting on Judge Galvatron to show up. You know what I mean? A-Train Tings. You know what I mean? In the A-Train, the whole A-Train outfit is definitely available on UsualSuspect6.com. You see my guy Ak Reacher donned in the A-Train fit. And let's go from one H-Town to another. We in Houston right now with my guy 503, Mr. Texas Drip. You know what I mean? Find his exclusive H-Town inspired apparel. Once again on ShopUsualSuspect6.com. You in the dig. Once again, the link is in the description. Real talk. But y'all know what it is. Big news as well. This Saturday, we gonna be back at it. So make sure y'all subscribe to the Jab Jamboree, because Boxing Night Court will be in session. You know what I mean? The LDBC versus Sir Budrick Crawford. You know what I mean? Will be going down. I believe that's 5 p.m. Eastern time. You know what I mean? I will be defending Sir Budrick Crawford. Y'all know what it is. I still got my badge. You know what I mean? It don't expire till April, y'all. You know what I mean? So I'm on the job Saturday. You know what I mean? 5 p.m. Eastern time on the Jab Jamboree. And I'm going up against the prosecution, BFTB. You know what I mean? So the cards are stacked against me in this case against Sir Budrick Crawford. In the dig. So I got some things for y'all. So make sure y'all tune in to the Jab Jamboree. That's Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. The return of Boxing Night Court. In the dig. The case of Sir Budrick Crawford. But with that, all the promo out of the way, without further ado, let's get into, you know what I mean? Let's get into some music, the intro music, you know what I mean, from my guy C. This is coming off the Toxic City LP. You know, dig. We're gonna play this first track and then bring them on in. You know, dig. Y'all know what it is. It's your favorite yet your most hated Oddfella, and this is the Cee Listening Session. This first track, Entropy. Let's get it.
UsualSuspect6.com. Say what? Hey. Yeah, we out of order, so we push it forward. A never-ending state of disorder is coming toward us. We degrading the energy till we uniform it. We transcending the entropy via human portal. We gotta move to corporate. I try to rule the cordless. Get a newer office and set the movement off, bitch. We the fucking bosses. TMF, we the new XL. Any mic lit right when I do exhale. CO2, see off that old new. I've been clean. If it's boom bap or that trap shit, the kid mean. Never let him keep me distracted. I've been seeing every rapper they matching. The shit seems headed to a really, really, really bad place, where creativity scorned and ideas ain't safe. We just wanna live eternally, so we ain't sleeping until everybody heard of me. Never let them inert the team. I did it. Relentless like I never quit it. The kid has got next, I'm committed. I did it. Salute to the team getting planted. This thing get more lit by the minute. Believe it, I said it, I meant it. I did it like It's entropy, entropy, entropy. I do this right here to the death of me. The squad just perfected the recipe. It's entropy, entropy, entropy. Hey, yeah, everywhere I look I see the scenery, same shit. Entropy already, everybody a base 10. But this ain't South Park, we ain't we outlaws. And maybe we bounce, dog, but this ain't about y'all. Motherfucker, I'm fighting on the daily, hyping off the maybe. And I write it for you, pay me, with a hyphen in the alias. It's the newly minted boat person with a visa, so lifted, trying to be the cold version of Aretha singing, oh Canada, like we can her up. About to bust, dollar down for talent up. And all the uniformity is truly boring me. I put them all to sleep, the units moving with a yawn is deep. Man, I did it, relentless with a smitic and a finger for the critics. Getting heady for the discipline. Listen, friend, the fighting our only option when the entropy against us and the trends is only popping. Got that? I did it, I did it, I did it. Relentless like I never quit it. The kid has got next, I'm committed. I did it, I did it, I did it. Salute to the team getting plenty. This thing get more lit by the minute. Believe it, I said it, I meant it. I did it, I did it, I did it. Like, it's entropy, entropy, entropy. I do this right here to the death of me. The squad just perfected the recipe. It's entropy, entropy, entropy. Yeah, ayy. Yeah, yo, the inertia kicking in. Yeah, I heard it in the wind. The kid be hurting him again. It's fucking murder with a pen. Let the absurdity begin. The courtesy extends amidst the chaos. We never laying off them in the end. Yeah, and we fighting every day just to catch a gas. The uncertainty is burning like some ashlit hash. Planet been in deep entropy for centuries. The ice melting in the water for the centerpiece. I did it, I did it, I did it. Relentless like I never quit it. The kid has got next, I'm committed. I did it, I did it, I did it. Salute to the team getting plenty. This thing get more lit by the minute. Believe it, I said it, I meant it. I did it, I did it, I did it. Like, it's entropy, entropy, entropy. I do this right here to the death of me. The squad just perfected the recipe. It's entropy, entropy, entropy.
We have the man,
hey,
live in the war room, Cee, you know what I mean, from the movement fam, you know what I mean, tell the people where they can follow you at and all that good stuff.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you for having me, my man. You can get me at CEEFOR on Instagram and Facebook, and it's CEETMF on TikTok and what's the other one? Whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah, man, hit me up.
Indeed, indeed. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. This is the Cee Listening Session, live in the war room. Smash that like button as you phone on in. Once again, this will be rebroadcasted on the Live and Direct show, cfmu.ca, 93.3 FM. Cee,
Yes, sir.
tell us about some of this music we about to get into.
Yeah, man.
It's Biotoxic City. Listen, you in Hamilton. Are you talking about this toxic city, or are you talking about another toxic city about 40 to 50 kilometers away? We'll be talking about, Cee.
It's an interesting one. So there's actually two albums that I dropped. So Entropy was off Relentless, which dropped in November, the deluxe version. Biotoxic City is a collab with a producer named Smokewell. He's based in Cambridge. So he raps under the name D Cypher. We dropped volume 1 in 2020, and this is volume 2. And it was the title came from like a photo my friend took with someone like just did graffiti on a park bench that said Biotoxic City. So it was in Toronto. At the time, I lived in Montreal. I just moved here in July. So I was not referring to Hamilton. I just got here. I love this place. It's amazing. I was really happy to hear that you guys were based out here as well. I don't really know any music folks out here in Hamilton. So I was in Montreal for a decade. So I'm really referring to Montreal, and I imagine D Cypher is referring to Cambridge. So no, all love for Hamilton, though.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I might have to give you the Weebay clip for that because I'm surprised,
Oh, yeah.
bro.
Okay,
I'm
I don't think I told
surprised
you.
that you calling it Montreal. A
Oh, no,
toxic
Montreal.
city.
Yeah.
Elaborate. You ain't feeling Montreal no more?
No, it's like it did what it did for me. I was there, you know. I'm from Australia, so I was in Toronto first for 2 years. I was in Montreal for 10 years. Now I'm out here. It's a dope place. It's the most fractured. I don't know what it's like here. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on that, man. But Montreal's like the scene is divided in two because of language. So there's the French rap scene, and then there's the English cats. So I'm coming from Australia. I'm from Toronto, I guess. I didn't know anybody when I moved there. So I'm just trying to get to know everyone. We actually ran an event called Hip Hop Karaoke Montreal, which I kind of thought was like, it's not my thing. I was about to say it's whack. It's not whack. It's just not my thing. But people loved it. And what it did was get me in the door with everyone. I met DJs, rappers, producers, singers, venue owners, promoters. So I got all the main gigs out there because I was hustling. Montreal is not a hustle city. You know what I mean? Like, this is I moved there in 2012. So this was a few years after that. And it's hard to get love out there because everyone I knew, I'd meet someone new, be like, oh, cool, you know this and this and this. And they're like, oh, I don't know. So, like, no one knew anybody. There wasn't, like, a scene, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I didn't feel like I could really easily connect. And it was kind of like we were just doing our own thing amongst everyone else doing their own thing. So, like, you know, there's some great talent out there, but it was hard to get any traction, really, because it wasn't like, yeah, I imagine it's like it out here and in Toronto. There's always like hip hop nights. There's always things. Even in Melbourne, where I'm from, there was always shit happening. But in Montreal, there wasn't just like somewhere to perform on a Tuesday or whatever. It was not like that. It was completely different. So it's a tough place to get some like to really sort of make some movement. So a lot of our videos and everything are shot out there. We did a lot of stuff, but we kind of I connected with the people that, you know, my videographer's based there who does all my videos. My boy Jonathan Emil, he's like a rapper, producer, singer, reggae artist. Like he did an album on Tough Gong and stuff, so we work with him a lot. Aside from that, there's not that many other people, you know, so it's a tough place, bro. So I'm curious to hear like what's up with Hamilton, like what's the vibe out here, like as far as the hip hop scene.
Hamilton has a rich hip hop scene, a very rich hip hop scene. However, there is some crab in a bucket mentality going on. That's prevalent, but there is a community. There is a solid hip hop community. Once again, as you see that the culture does live in the Still City with these Still City ciphers that we are putting on monthly. Shout out to Self-Made, Mr. Burns, for organizing this. You know what I mean? Had it outside for the summertime. Now we bringing it inside for the winter, and possibly in February. Cee, if that's your thing, you know what I mean. We would love to have you in one of these ciphers, in these upcoming ciphers in February or March or whatever. You know what I mean.
Oh yeah, man. I was watching one of them on your Instagram. Like you had some of the clips and stuff. Very cool. Oh, and the Mills Grills Beats.
No, Mills Grills Beats. The beat you hearing right now, this is one of his beats.
Very fine, man. He looked like he had some really killer shit going on, and like the way the ciphers were done, it was like all the MCs were tight. It's great, man. I love. It's cool to see that sort of thing is alive, right? Like lyrics. That makes me happy because I felt like things change. Obviously, this is a show for people like yourself and the listeners, are people who are into lyrics, who are into bars. It doesn't have to be boom bap, but it's about bars, and that made me happy to see that that's alive, man. Because it kind of, for a while, that kind of felt like that is dead, like that people don't really want lyrics anymore.
Yeah, so, I feel. Yeah, no. Yeah, I hear that. Mainstream wise, radio wise, and whatnot, it seems like bars are dead, but definitely on this show. War Report, live and direct on 93.3 FM. Been a staple for damn near 3 decades on 93.3 FM for hip hop in the 905. So yeah, we definitely gonna continue playing and recognizing bars, you know what I mean? And speaking of bars, Tell us about this next track we about to get into. I Got Next, featuring Maya Clarity and Notion.
Yes, sir. So this was the first single off Relentless. So we dropped it in October 2021. This is an album produced by Maya Clarity. The kid is from Montreal. I met him there, but he's been in Toronto for like almost close to a decade, I guess. He is like a young genius. The kid is crazy, man. Like he plays everything you hear. This is the first album I've done with no samples. Like everything he played, we got in like a violinist, a cellist, a sax player, guitar, bass, drums, like everything. It's damn near like a band album. As far as like talented musicians, bringing them in. So this was the song that was like the closest to like the modern sound, like you're talking about the mainstream sound, like it's a bit trappy. So we put it out as the first single. Then we did a video for it last year. Half of it was shot in Montreal, and the other half was shot in Toronto. So Maya is featuring because Maya's an MC, and Notion is my brother. He's based in Toronto. He's been in Toronto the whole time. He's an MC, and he's also an engineer and producer, also extremely talented. So he engineers everything I've ever done, as far as mixing and mastering. So this was a fun one, just kind of fun bars over a nice little trappy beat. Maya did the old little auto-tune hook, which isn't really the type of music that I would typically make. As you'll hear later on in the listening session, the Toxic City stuff is complete opposites, like straight boom bap sample, straight up and down. But this is like a nice fun joint. Video is cool. Yeah, man. I Got Next. Enjoy that.
Indeed. Once again, the poll is in the chat. Let us know what's your favorite track that we playing off the Toxic City from Cee. You know what I mean? The movement, fam. Y'all know what it is. I Got Next. Let's get it.
Say what? Rolling with the windows out. Rolling with the windows out.
Ay.
Rolling.
Ay.
Rolling.
Yeah, in a lab coat with this stopwatch. I've been that close, but then cock blocked. But the man focused, no off shots. And the track's potent, this onslaught. A real shit, never really quit. Really kid, I mean the catalog is really thick. It really is, and the team is looking really big. I really spit, so the future feeling really sick. We really did it in over soul beats. Been getting no sleep. Broad belly left the crib for a whole week. So we putting in the work when the cold peaks. So much fire, we never considered the whole heat. Yeah, and the whole squad gon' eat. I put that on my grandmama, I done told T. We didn't different empty pockets and some cold tea. Ho, please, homie, we grinding it like I know tea. Fuck a broke steez. Try to live life smooth, cocoa butter on both knees. The man's gone, on the land for the clear. Till we living like we kings, and we all up in this bitch like a tampon. I got next, and I ain't trying to stop until we got checks. 7 figures and the whippers with a .S. Holy shit, man, these rappers is a hot mess. Just quit, bruh.
Oh, rolling through the city with the windows down. Ain't nobody gonna take my crown. I'ma kill this shit right now. Right now. Right now. Kill it right now.
Y'all yelling that you got next. How long any of us got left? I don't see any type of promise. Everybody's head up on a chop block, figuring out who be getting chopped next. Everybody stop it. Time to get together and acknowledge. Only ever be some independent artists. Industry check every single dollar, but I could get a penny when my songs came. Grew up on Eminem, palm sweaty in a large hoodie, vomit on it in a wash of a small kitchen underground. Promising mama when the song's spinning, I'ma buy us both real windows with a yard in them. Time gon' make a liar out of all of us. Praying all the drama was a part of it. Word to the pallbearers, be a waste if the drama never inspired words to turn them into songs for us. I'm fine up for top, but letting all of it down and just starting from scratch. Holding up on 3rd and Parliament conference with satellite radio calls and I'm next. I give them shit to quote, be the first to admit that we missed the boat. What you fishing for? Shit sink or float. Be the big fish next on that fishing pole. All of y'all fish sticks, bro.
Rolling through the city with the windows down. Ain't nobody gonna take my crown. I'ma kill this shit right now. Let's roll right now. Let's roll right now. Let's roll. Kill it right now.
Yo, I don't think you understand this. Just seeing how we move and how we planned it. Non-stop, people don't know how we manage. We relentless, you know what the brand is. TMF got next cause we built the steps. Cats tuning in now, giving real respect. Yo, it don't even matter how your praise is set. Just make a big pause, let it take effect. I've been making soul beats, brought back the old heat. Now we in the stew with C the whole week. I'm out murdering wax, pay the pertinent tax. And right now, dog, we on the attack. And you have been on the up and up. Know what the fuck is up. 30 plus, real fresh with a button up. See the fire inside like a murderous vibe. Real life like a permanent high. How the fuck's to give? Had enough of this. With my heart on my sleeve, y'all love the shit. Gotta trust the kid, going nuts for this. And the team breaking backs, real lumbar shit. And yeah, dog, we wanna thank you. Cause you helped the crew doing what you ain't do. Real slick, how we working with the angles. Damn, dog, don't you know we got an angel? Yeah, we got natural.
Oh, rolling through the city with the windows down. Ain't nobody gonna take my crown. I'ma kill this shit right now. Right now. Right now. Kill it right now. I don't know where I'm going. I'm rolling through the fucking city. Don't fucking ask me.
Fire.
Yeah. Slaps.
Fire.
I love that joint, man.
Fire. Yeah. That was heavy, you know what I mean? Make sure y'all smash that like button.
Hit the
Once
like.
again, poll is in the chat, you know what I mean? I got next. Yeah, I love the way the hook fall off on that. Yo, that shit was hard though, you know what I mean?
Cheers, man. It's blessed. It's like it was a little weird to do a song like that. And to be fair, that album was recorded in 2017 as I wanted to get a grant. I got a factor grant for it to, help cover some of the costs. It was pretty expensive. We, with all the musicians and the studio, I have a studio right here, but I needed somewhere proper for the musicians and stuff. So we took a little longer to put it out than I wanted, but really happy with how it came out, man. Like super proud of that project, and it's hard to get some traction. Obviously, there's a lot of noise in the music scene, and as independent artists, it's tough to sort of really get people listening. But I feel like once things are out, they can start to get their own little, like you come back with the deluxe the next year, so there's, it reinvigorates the whole album. You can still drop videos, so it's cool, man. It's cool. I'm really happy with it.
That's what's up. I mean, once again, this is the Cee Listening Session.
Yes,
We
sir.
live in the boardroom. TWR presents. In the dig. Something wrong with my StreamYard, y'all, because for some reason, I can't see the chat. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna pull up the YouTube. You know what I mean? Real quick. You know what I mean? I see Mark Winterlich been up in here. You know what I mean?
That.
Salute to the brother. You know what I mean? The king of Utah up in the building, and we got the queen. Long Island, Strong Island in the building. Tay the queen of MMA and combat entertainment in the building. Always showing love and support. You know what I mean? She says, smash that like button. Yes, indeed. Smash that like button as you fall on in. I'm gonna flip back and forth. You know what I mean? Because I can't see the chat or what's going on from the StreamYard stream, which is unusual. You know what I mean? Unusual, but we gonna keep it rocking. We gonna definitely keep it rocking. Now, C.
Yes, sir.
Actually, before I even tell you this is one of my favorite tracks we getting into from you, because you absolutely murdered the verse. I just like the way this song comes off. But I was interested in asking you about this because I didn't realize that you came from Melbourne.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Now I'm one of those Google Earth geeks in the day. And Melbourne's one of my favorite cities to Google Earth, you know what I mean, and check it out and shit and whatnot. Now that I got somebody in the digital flesh, so to speak, from Melbourne, tell me about the Melbourne hip hop scene. You know what I mean? What is it compared to as far as Toronto goes? Because Melbourne's a big city, a way bigger city than Hamilton. I would put it on par with Toronto. What's the scene like?
So to be fair, I left in 2010, so I haven't been there for 12 years. Before I left, it was pretty dope, man. When we came out, look, I'm an older cat. I've been doing this. I've been putting out music since 2002, so we've been around for a minute. In the 2000s, like the peak mixtape era, that was the best time that I recall in that, because there were these like weekly nights that this dude was running, and it was like Mondays or Tuesdays or something like that. He was changing venues, and it was the coolest shit in the world because it's what gave us all our learn how to rock a stage. You know, like we learned how to, like, if something went wrong, how do you save it? You do a new song like that week, and you can go and perform it the next night. You know, you hit him up, it gets you on stage. So it wasn't like open mic, you had to get booked, but like people who have come from that, like one of my friends, I talk to him every day. He's his name's 360 in Australia. He's 6 times platinum with one of his singles. Multi-platinum artist, like, really, really big. And I've known him since he was 14, and we just all came up together in the scene. So like a lot of people have been really successful from that scene. So for us, we ended up getting traction over here, which is why we ended up moving over here. We got a little distribution deal in the States. I'd lived in Toronto before, so we moved out. But as far as Melbourne music, man, like I was talking about Montreal. So Montreal and Melbourne are very similar, like culturally, as far as they're really big on graffiti, on music, arts, food, like coffee, like beer and wine, like really like Melbourne is a really dope city, man. Before I left, you know what it's like? Are you from Hamilton?
Yeah.
So you know what it's like when you're from somewhere, it's easy to take it for granted, right? So like I feel like I was always a little annoyed that we didn't get the traction that we wanted at home, so we had to leave, and that's okay. But going back, like I've only been back 3 times in 12 years because it's so far, but it's such a dope city, man. Like it's every time I go, I'm like, oh, this place is great. I feel like it's got better over time. So I imagine the music scene has gotten more rich, more diverse, as far as the people who are participating in the culture. I mean, Australia isn't the most, it's a multicultural place, but the hip hop scene was mostly white dudes, to be honest. From what I've seen now, that's not the case. Like it's really kind of broadened, because I think it was the white dudes, like they were like literal gang, like cats in gangs that started graffiti, and then that moved on to the music. Because hip hop, you think about how far it is, right? Like you put a pin through the earth and then you hit here. So that's where, New York, where it started, to Melbourne is like couldn't be further if it tried. So for that culture to come across the world, and for people to understand it, it was like, if they're doing graffiti, then they're going to obviously pick up on the rest of the elements of the culture. So it took a while for it to really spread, but I would say now it's got to be popping right now. From the type of artists I see who are kind of blowing up, it's super diverse, man. A lot of indigenous artists are doing really well. And people from Melbourne specifically, I see, are like on the world stage, like really big artists. So it makes me happy to see that it's continued to thrive and grow out there, So we haven't had much to do with it since we left. We really like focused over here, but I got a lot of love out there for everybody, for the music and stuff. It's a dope city. If you ever get a chance to get out, it's really far, but you really enjoy it, man. And we love Canadians. Like
That's
Canada and Australia, they're really similar.
So between the two, I got one choice in Australia, Melbourne or Sydney.
Melbourne.
I'm going with Melbourne.
Yes, sir. So, okay, I heard this the other day. Someone compared them to, like, Sydney is the, like, attractive sister. So because the sister's attractive, it's got like the Harbour Bridge and like all of the Bondi Beach, all of the stuff that people know it for. It didn't have to work on its personality because it's hot. But Melbourne was the less attractive sister, so it had to work on its personality. So we have a great coffee scene, music, culture, arts, blah, blah, blah. So like, whilst Melbourne doesn't have these crazy landmarks that Sydney has, the vibe is better. People are cooler. Sydney's a bit like staunch, kind of like Toronto a little bit.
Yeah,
I always count Sydney's like Toronto, Melbourne's like Montreal. Like everyone's nice in Montreal for the most part. Whereas Toronto, a little tougher, screwface capital and all, right?
Facts.
So I always compared the two. Sydney was my favorite place to go for the weekend though. Like if you're based in Melbourne and you go to Sydney for like, 3-4 days, it's crazy. It's so much fun. It's beautiful. It's bigger. Like it's harder to get around. But it's a vibe. But Melbourne is like, I feel like as someone who's into music, you'll appreciate it so much more. And I don't know if you're into graph, but the graffiti in Melbourne is like Montreal too. Like it's everywhere, and it's a huge graffiti culture.
So on levels, okay.
Yeah, man. I feel like you like it a lot more. It's I love it. I'm looking forward to going back. Not traveling back, but I'd like to go back soon enough. Maybe next year.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Even more is a track we about to get into. Name off any producing credits, features, or anything like that on this.
Yes, so this is off by Toxic City Volume 2. This song is so rapping is myself and D Cypher, who is like the producer's name is Smokewell. It's the same dude, but he has a different name for rapping than producing. So everything off by Toxic City 2, Smokewell produced. Everything off Relentless, Maya Clarity produced. So I only work with one producer per project. I don't really like doing the different producer thing. Like I do full projects. I've only done that since like 2013. It's been a while. And this track is track 2 off the project. I like this one. There's no hook, just bars. It's a vibe, man. It's like, yeah, this one I feel like is like a slow burn, but people seem to really dig it. For me, I didn't love it at first, but now I'm like, oh yeah, this is the one. So we'll probably do a video for this one. I think. Yeah, man. I'm glad you chose it. I'm glad you like this one, man. That's really good feedback.
Yeah. I'm feeling this one for real. You know what I mean? To see if the chat's feeling this one. Once again, the poll is in the chat. Let us know what's your favorite track that we playing off the by Toxic City. You in a dig? Smash that like button as well. Fire emojis. We don't mind to see that. You know what I mean? Let's get into this.
Let's go.
Even more.
Yeah. Yeah, shit, I want it even more, like I caught it even more. I'ma rock it hella raw so they can cop it even more. Big Smoke sent the rhythm, I'ma bless it even more. When the music hitting streaming, they reppin' like it's in stores. I've been drinking, quarantine that got me soft around the belly, so I'm training, now the weight is dripping off. THC, it got me tripping, man, it's buzzing even more. I remember what I want and then forgot it even more. Motivated even more, manifesting even more. Every day I visualize a plaques that rest upon my wall. Man, I'm focused even more, I'm the coldest even more. Look around and I ain't seeing no opponent, shit, I'm bored. Writing circles around these clowns and now I kill them even more. When you hear the record, homie, you won't feel them anymore. I've been building even more, I ain't chilling, this is war. Best salute your general, cause after this it's even more. I'm coming.
Yeah. Y'all know what it is.
Pull up that song there, dog.
Yeah, to pull that one up, you know what I mean? Shout out to Tiffany Alexis in the chat, you know what I mean? We bringing it back even more, you know what I mean? Even more with it.
Yeah. Yeah, shit, I want it even more, like I caught it even more. I'ma rock it hella raw so they can cop it even more. Big Smoke sent the rhythm, I'ma bless it even more. When the music hitting streaming, they reppin' like it's in stores. I've been drinking, quarantine that got me soft around the belly, so I'm training, now the weight is dripping off. THC, it got me tripping, man, it's buzzing even more. I remember what I want and then forgot it even more. Motivated even more, manifesting even more. Every day I visualize a plaques that rest upon my wall. Man, I'm focused even more, I'm the coldest even more. Look around and I ain't seeing no opponent, shit, I'm bored. Writing circles around these clowns and now I kill them even more. When you hear the record, homie, you won't feel them anymore. I've been building even more, I ain't chilling, this is war. Best salute your general, cause after this it's even more. I'm coming.
Yeah, hey yo, I hear you, see, I'm soft round the belly. Watch a man drive 40 and 9.5 G. COVID raising prices up like tube socks. I keep a vice grip, but not the ones in my toolbox. Even more debauchery, deluxe, the dichotomy between the EP and this here. I came accordingly, the thrill seeker with no use for stunts. I say it once, a true first, so don't ask, cause I won't pull a punch. Even more heresy, cause I don't give a fuck what you think. The real deal is all I claim to be. Nothing to hear, I wouldn't tell you over a couple of beers. Honest guy, I've got nothing to fear. Promise guys you wouldn't let them down to pier. They couldn't board the boat cause you ain't out for your peers. So let me tell it to you quite clear. The devil isn't in the details when I'm right here.
Hey yo, not today, Satan. Been in this bitch waiting. Been nearly 2 decades, got even more patience. I'm in the booth pacing, my rap fingers aching. I see the throne vacant, I'm even more blatant. Fucking tweet, I'ma send a raven. get jaded. My lucky number 13, I'm even more Jason. I stay late and amazing, they even more basic. PSL all day, but even more basic.
Yeah, nowadays the way that I talk is even more sickening. Found a way beyond what they got to get it more twisted. Even more blessings, even more strictness, even more stress from landing heavyweight business. Observers stripping, bear witness, declare this is an upscale dish with all the trimmings. This is OT, we playing even more innings. Every time you hear the crack of the bat, it's more winning.
More. God, Steve. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Poll is in the chat. Let us know. Save your votes for now, but at the end of the session, you know what I mean? Let us know what's your favorite track we playing tonight. Once again, that was Even More. You know, dig. Yes, once again, this is the Cee Listening Session. This will be rebroadcasted on the Live and Direct show on 93.3 FM, CFMU.ca. Yes, indeed. But yes, see, man, I mean, Even More, we getting into another dope track, which has an interesting title to it. The Mexican.
Yes.
Tell us about this track we about to get into.
So this is also from By Toxic City Volume 2 with Smokewell, produced by Smokewell with D-Cypher, same dude rapping. This one features Rock Abraham, my boy from DC, on a hook. I met him, I actually have a craft beer podcast, which is the set I'm in right now. And I met him because of beer. And he's one of the, like, I believe I did the first ever craft beer rap song in 2014 to drop. And he was the first person I met after that, you know, was actually rapping about beer, like in the nerdy craft beer way, as opposed to like let's get drunk way. So we connected. He's produced for like Copyright and a bunch of cats out that way, in like DMV. So we connected. We got him on the hook. He's also on another cut on the project as well. And this joint, like, there's a movie called The Mexican. Have you seen it?
No.
No,
yeah, I definitely heard of it though.
Same. So D-Cypher's a funny dude, man. So he'd make the beat, and then he'll do it like he'd get like lit, like just crash beers, and then he'll make the beat, and he just likes writing a rap. So he's primarily a producer and sort of MC on the side. He always likes to say, but I really love the way he writes raps. He's really like, you know, just ahead, right? And he wrote this rap, and he started it off, and I was like, what's The Mexican about? It's about the movie, right? And he's like, yeah. So I looked it up, and it's about like bringing this gun called the Mexican, I believe, across the Mexican border. Mm-hmm. So both of the verses start off with a reference to bringing a gun, you know, trying a little like double entendre type of thing across borders and stuff. So like it's a pretty cool track. This is probably my favorite verse from myself off the album. Mm-hmm. I wrote it just after my birthday, which was a milestone birthday, 9 years old. And yeah, man, it was this one's a really great track. I really love this one. The sound, probably my favorite beat off the project too. It's like you get this crazy like string sample. I don't know where he found it, but it slaps, man. This one's really hard, man. These two tracks are pretty indicative of this project of the By Toxic City. Just like real like, you know, sample driven boom bap that doesn't sound dated, but it just slaps, man. Just head nod and stuff. Real bars. We're not like, you know, talking all sorts of nonsense of things we've been through and whatever. So I'm really proud of this one too. This one slaps hard. This is definitely my fave off the project. So I'm curious what people think.
Indeed. Let's get into it. The Mexican. We live in the war room. The Cee Listening Session. Let's get it.
UsualSuspect6.com. Say what?
Motherfucker fucking man. Yo, I eat you poor boys, rats full of estrogen. Your old boy, carry the heat like the Mexican. No voice, though they say hip hop's dead again, but can't argue against the sound. It sound intelligent. You know Freud, I couldn't call you negligent for not realizing that the Irish aren't specimens. That's some real life jazz. If you can't get down with it, you can scroll right past, walk right by. Promise, that's not motherfucking rap around. Talk quite like I'm just that guy. Been listening since 96. Grew a blueprint in my mind, now it just exists. Human doors, fast life for cars. You look bad trying to imitate the real like a 90s flick. I'm not trying to imitate the feel, it's a 90s shit. What you hearing, I'm just fly with this.
Lately I've been sober, bruh. Back against the wall like I'm posting up. But I've been getting colder cuts. I put your Bammers in a Cobra clutch. Lately I've been sober, bruh. Back against the wall like I'm posting up. But I've been getting colder cuts. I put your Bammers in a Cobra clutch.
Man, I ain't really good at rap, kid, I'm excellent. Bringing heat across the border like the Mexican. When 9/10 the people doing this is excrement, I gotta bring it harder so we cover up the deficit. I saw the culture from afar, shit was eminent. I needed to be closer to the city like Connecticut. Made it happen, man's a resident. Shit the 10-year-olds see, keep it cheesing from the prevalence. Yeah, so rap music really brought me here. This was everything I wanted, shit was glorious. Hella hard and passion, I had inventory in. I gotta thank the city for the lessons in the frosty air. Whether rapping Queen West or up in Laurier, the journey crazy and I'm proud of where my story is. From the music to the business, I'ma cordially cheers. A little something from my 40-year home, yes.
Lately I've been sober, bruh. Back against the wall like I'm posting up. But I've been getting colder cuts. I put your Bammers in a Cobra clutch. Lately I've been sober, bruh. Back against the wall like I'm posting up. But I've been getting colder cuts. I put your Bammers in a Cobra clutch.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Smoke, man. I've been doing this shit since 02. I've fucking seen it all, bro. These motherfuckers need to listen. Let's get it.
Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. That was the Mexican. Once again, off the Biotoxic City pack right there. You know what I mean? Poll us in the chat. Poll us in the chat. Let us know what's your favorite track that we played, that we playing tonight. You know, dig? Yo, and you right with that one. That beat was cold. Both of the verses, bar riddled. You know, dig? It was kind of do you listen to the Griselda at all?
Yes.
It's Griselda-esque.
That's a very large compliment, man.
Griselda-esque.
I always try and there's a few of the track from Volume 1 and Volume 2 where I've tried to channel that energy. Not copy it, obviously, but channel that energy. So It's cool that you notice that, because I feel like when you write, you want to, I guess, be inspired. You want to listen to something before you write or whatever, so you can really get. And I feel like there's no one really rapping at the level of Griselda these days, as far as the newer cats, even though they're kind of closer to my age, to be honest, which I love, because there's a huge thing about ageism in rap, which drives me nuts. So seeing those cats be so successful at the style that they're doing, that real grimy shit, it makes me so happy, man. And just that level of bars is so it's I don't know, it's one thing that gives me hope that hey man, you know, bars people want to hear this stuff. Bars are back, people want to hear it, people doing, you know, what I don't want to say boom bap, but bar focused music, hip hop music, are making careers out of this stuff. It's, I don't know, it's so encouraging, and I think it's what the culture needed, and that's why they're being so successful, I think. So I'm happy that you saw that influence.
Indeed. We live in the War Room. TWR presents the Cee Listening Session. Once again, I can't see the chat from StreamYard, so I'm gonna flip back and forth to see what the chat's saying and whatnot. But once again, make sure y'all smash that like button. And I wanted to ask you this, because that's interesting too. First off, let us know where we can find your music, and I'm gonna ask you another question regarding your podcast.
Yes, for sure. So the music, the interesting thing about my rap name is that it's really difficult to find my shit, which is very annoying. And if I thought about SEO when I came up with the rap name 20 plus years ago, it would have been a different story. So when you search for my stuff, if you go on Spotify, I'm the only verified C. So you'd have to search for the music. So I usually get people to like do C Relentless or C by Toxic City. Even if you go by Toxic, it'll come up. So that'll be on Spotify or Apple Music. You can get everything on SoundCloud, which is CEEFOR, same as my Instagram. You can also find it on Bandcamp, which is CEETMF.bandcamp.com. So you can get everything there if you want to actually download the stuff. That's probably the best places. I'm on Audio Mac as well. I believe it's CEEFOR on Audio Mac. They're probably the main places that people would be finding music. So definitely go grab that, follow, subscribe, like, or whatever. Download the shit, man. Hope people enjoy it.
Indeed. Y'all know what it is. This is the Cee Listening Session. Wanted to ask you this.
Yeah,
earlier on, you spilled that you do a podcast regarding craft beer.
Yes, sir.
How did you get into this? You know what I mean? And pretty much break down the podcast and let the people know where they can watch this podcast and all that. You know what I mean? Plug this podcast.
Yeah. Let's go. So I actually have two podcasts. So one is craft beer, one is hip hop. So the beer one, when I first moved to Canada, I drank beer, whatever, and I only drank like macro lagers from wherever I could get things from, and I thought I was fancy or whatever. So when I first moved to Canada in September 2010, I was coming into my first winter, and my friends in Australia did this thing called 365 days of beer, where you had to like get a can of beer, take a selfie with it or whatever, can, bottle, label, pint glass, and write it down and number it to try and get to 365. So I didn't think that many beers existed, so I thought, why not try it? My first winter, it's cold, whatever. So I ended up completing that in about 7 months, and I just enjoyed it. And I was just learning about beer, and I was like, okay, because it forces you to try new things. So I kept it going. So right now I'm up to like 7,500 reviewed beers. I just kept it going. And then in 2015, my girlfriend was like, why don't you we were getting into podcasts the last couple of years. She's like, why don't you look for a beer podcast? That's a good idea. So I checked them out. It was like just old dudes, just super boring. Like nothing was like exciting or like appealing to me. So she's like, why don't you start a podcast? I'm like, cool. So my friend at the time when I lived in Toronto, who started the 365 days of beer with me, I asked him if he wanted to. I was in Montreal, he was in Toronto, but obviously I have all the equipment because I do music. So I was like, yo, do you want to do a pod? He was like, let's go. So we were doing it. We were cussing. It wasn't anything serious. It's called Beer and Other Shit. And that was just because it was syncing everything from my Instagram to Tumblr, which is the main thing. And I needed a name. So it's beer and the other stuff that I post on Instagram. So very lazy, but I didn't care. Music was my thing. This was my side creative project out, right, I guess. So we were doing it. And then after maybe a year, breweries started reaching out and wanted to be on the podcast. That was never the intention. We were like, oh, okay, because we were ahead of the game, and we were one of the first in Canada. Like there wasn't that many here, like 2, 3, 4 maybe. And we're like, okay. And then one of them specifically was like, we don't like the swearing in it, because we went pretty hard. And they were like, that made us think we have two ways. We can be like, not pay attention to that and just keep going, or we can switch it up. So we called it, you can think behind me, so Beer and Other Shit, BAOS podcast is called now. And we toned it down a little bit, and yeah, man, it's been going. We've been traveling all across North America and Australia with the pod. Like tourism offices in Colorado, Vermont, Virginia have sent us out a few things, ones in Quebec and here in Ontario have flown us out and paid for hotels and all this stuff. Is pretty crazy. It's become this whole side thing. And then my song about craft beer called Brewheads off my first solo album, that's the theme song for it, so it works pretty well. It's been a real cool thing, and the people who know me for the beer thing, they support the music heavy. I don't know why. I guess it's because they like the pod, so then they check out the music all the time. So I really appreciate what beer has brought. The only bad thing is the old stomach right here. It's kind of fucking annoying about that. But that aside, man, it's been really cool. So like, we actually also have we started a non-profit based off beer. We collaborated, funnily enough, with this brewery called Saint-Guillaume Baron in Gatineau, Quebec. And it's called Link Up. And basically what we do is try and diversify the craft beer industry. Because if you think about breweries, it's mostly white dudes with beers in a brewery, which is not representative of what happens outside of that space. So that is whack. Beer is for everybody. So basically we've partnered with, there's this company called a Cicerone, which is the beer equivalent of a wine sommelier. So we basically pay for education for BIPOC individuals to try and give people a bit of a leg up, because education helps people move up in the world. So we do these beer collaborations to raise money, and we reinvest that in the community and try and like help people get into craft beer, which is something that's going pretty well. Like, it's, breweries are excited about it. It helps the beer industry. It helps, people get into the tap rooms just to drink. When you realize that beer is for everybody, it just makes it a better experience, I think, as well, having everyone involved. So the podcast is at BAOS Podcast everywhere on, the website, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We have the podcast on everywhere you find it. So yeah, man, we do that every week. It's been a cool little project that's started off as like a real side thing, and now it's gone into a thing of its own, which I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, have you ever reviewed a beer called Sons of Kent?
I know the brewery. I think I've had one of their beers. They're where are they based out of? Like Cambridge or something? Chatham. My friend lives there. That's a couple hours from here. Are you a fan? Yeah? Yeah?
I'm a fan.
Are you a beer guy?
You can say that.
Okay. Are you a beer guy?
Well, you know what? I won't say I'm a beer guy, because you alluded to your gut, and yeah, definitely beer runs through me. You know what I mean? Or it has negative effects usually the following day. And speaking about negative effects the following day, with regards to beer, have you? Yeah, you know what it is.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Have you ever got too hung over? You know what I mean, off a bunch of craft beers? Let us know.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? Every other night, it's insane. It's a lot. I tried to not, but I'm forced to drink this shit, man. Like, I've got obligations, so I'm not even really that much of a huge drinker. But because of the podcast, I've had to. So I'm trying to balance out what it can do to your body. But if you drink good stuff, I can talk to you after about some good stuff locally, because there's some killer breweries here. But the good stuff doesn't run through you as much, if you know what I'm saying, and doesn't affect you as much. But yes, I've been too hungover many times. You get a little excited, things taste good, you forget that it's strong, or can be strong. So yeah, man, this track is a banger off Relentless, once again produced by Maya Clarity. This one gives me Maxwell Urban Hang Suite vibes, like his first album, 1995. This features a singer from Guelph, actually, Dave Archer. She's amazing. I just met her the day we wrote this song. This also features Notion, my brother. Diva's great, man. She's so good. She just had a kid, so she's kind of chilled out on music for a bit, but I think she's back in business now. Yeah, this is just like a nice little, just it's a vibe. This is the most streamed song on the album. So I thought this one would be a good one just to kind of break it up a little bit of a different vibe to the other songs we played so far. Word.
Well, let's get into it. You know what I mean? Too Hungover, featuring Dave Archer and Notion. Indeed, let's get it.
Let's go. VisualSuspect6.com.
Say what?
up on your duck down, getting buck wild. Dear, chill off of Bellwoods and Four Winds. Hazy OJ and I'm feeling it more, kid. I ain't wrap it up, but I'm killing like 4/5. And baby, come tomorrow, know your driver's exhausted. Spent last night kinda black out. Woke up and I ain't going back out. Hit it like I should, then relax now. Girl, let's park our ass on the damn couch. Hey now, skip breakfast, ain't even the brunch 10. Blinds closed, sweatpants, we disgusting. Both of us a hot mess, before we even got dressed. I'm just trying to smash dip, mission accomplished. But we just
too hungover, just come over. I can't be alone, come and hide with me. Too hungover, come get closer. I won't be sober, stay inside with me. Too hungover, just come over. I can't be alone, come and hide with me. Too hungover, come get closer. I won't be sober, stay inside with me.
It all started with a text then. The next thing, she ain't Uber from the West End. Undressing, no time for foreplay. We start in the hallway. I swear we'd be doing it all day. Yo, so come inside with me. I got wine and weed, and you could be just whoever you decide to be. Straight role playing, ain't no covers. Don't catch feelings, we ain't no lovers. Last night I didn't sleep much, so right now I'm in the house with my feet up. Netflix, chill, roll a couple trees up. I'm trying to catch a vibe, baby, turn the beat up. You see us, it is really a game, an unpredictable thing. Is this a physical or emotional exchange? I don't even know, can't remember your name. I want it boom, smash, piece, and I'm out of the frame. Cause
Too hungover, just come over. I can't be alone, come and hide with me. Too hungover, come get closer. I won't be sober, stay inside with me. Too hungover, just come over. I can't be alone, come and hide with me. Too hungover, come get closer. I won't be sober, stay inside with me. So come over, come over, come over. So come over, yeah. Why don't you come? So come over, come over, why don't you come? So come over, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Poll is in the chat. You know what I mean? Get your vote on. Get your vote on. You in the dig. Too hung over. You know what I mean? That's C featuring Dave Archer and Notion right there. In the dig. Yo, that was fire. I could see that. Why that's one of your most streamed songs off the project right there. In the dig. Lovely. Yeah, actually, it gave me some neo soul Joe Scott vibes to it. You know what I mean? The way she ended it off right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was some fire. You know what I mean?
She's great, man. She's great. Big fan of what she's doing. I hope she drops some more stuff. I feel like she's like being like that chick who does a lot of gigs and like features, but I want to see her drop some more solo stuff. I feel like she's great, man. She's brilliant. It's cool to connect with good ass people, man. I'm glad that she's like close to here, like only Guelph. I haven't seen her in a while because she, like I said, she had a kid and stuff. She's been out of action, but yeah, man. Love it.
That's what's up. Indeed. Well, once again, the poll is in the chat. Let us know. You know what I mean? What's your favorite track? What, you know what I mean?
Too Hungover's taking the lead right now.
Is it?
Yep. And all the rest is even. So we'll see. Maybe that's the one. Maybe that explains it. That explains why it's always the highest download. Highest stream, sorry.
But yes, indeed. Keep those votes. Keep those votes coming. In the meantime, I'm gonna leave that poll up, and we're gonna get into some rapid fire questions.
Let's go.
Get a dig. Now Hamilton once again has a rich history in hip hop. It also has a rich history in cannabis.
Yes. So
Are you you do partake in craft beer, but do you partake in craft cannabis or cannabis per se?
yes, but only edibles because my lungs are pussy holes. They don't. It doesn't work. I haven't smoked weed since 2009 because I get sick. I'll smoke. I get a cold for 2 weeks, like a flu for like 2 weeks. I don't know why.
Wow. Okay.
So I've only had edibles, but I'm a connoisseur of edibles. Like I've been doing that shit for a long time now. So everyone always messes up, but I have them almost every day. Big fan.
Indeed. Now, so what's your go-to edible? Is it like candy, like gummies, or do you deal with like the brownies and cookie type of edibles?
joints? So when I first moved here, I found a place in Toronto because I used to buy them. Did I buy them in Australia or I made them? No, I buy them off my brother's dealer in Australia a long time ago. And then when we moved here, I'm like, I need to get edibles, man. This is like a whole thing. So I found a place in Toronto that was making them on the low and selling them. So I was buying them off them. And the problem with edibles is the strength and having consistency in the strength. So my girl was like, let's stop buying them, let's make them. So we started making our own butter and then making the cookies. And you'd sort of like only take like a quarter at a time to get used to them. So the problem with brownies and cookies is the inconsistency of the strength of them. And if you do too much, your night is done for. And that's why a lot of people don't like edibles. So I've made many mistakes over the time. So I know that it's not exactly celebrated, that the legality of it, because it, ruined a lot of stuff from what I understand. But for me as an edible only person, it's made my life significantly easier. So I do all edible forms, so oils, gummies, and beverages. In Quebec, funnily enough, they had beverages, but they didn't have any gummies at all. No other actual things you can eat. So I would do the beverages and I would do the oils. Now I'm here. I'm big time into gummies because you can go I own a social media agency, so between that, the podcast and the music, I can't always be lit, bro. I got to deal with words and emails and shit. So you could do a 2 milligram, 2.5 milligram. It's just this little light background buzz. If I'm feeling like I want to get a little more lit, a 5 milligram or 10 milligram type of thing. So I love that I can get the exact strength and I know what I'm getting into.
Sure.
So that'd be those are the general three. If I had a choice, I would say the gummies are my favorite. I really enjoy them.
Indeed. Okay.
Are you into them? Are you into edibles or just smoking?
Nah, I know edibles rarely. Maybe when I'm at the station, and then of course
you
can't
smoke.
pull out the backwoods and whatnot. So yeah, I'll pop a couple gummies or whatever to tide me over for the hour and a half. You know what I mean?
I love it.
But other than that, gummies are to me hit and miss. Sometimes I don't feel nothing, and then other times it'll bring me back to 2 decades ago where it just sat me down and I was just paranoid and shit.
My brother says the same thing. He's a smoker too, man. So I feel like that is a thing. I think it's you're either an edible person, you're a smoker, you're a vape, whatever it might be. So it's I've noticed that a lot. People tend to have a preference, and it's hard to kind of move on from that. I totally get it.
Indeed. Now, speaking of edibles,
Yes.
or things that can be eaten or edible, what do you think about the Hamilton foodie scene? Since you've been down here for at least a year, what is your go-to kind of fast food in Hamilton that you can't necessarily get in Melbourne, that you can't get in Montreal?
That's a great question because I got 2 easy answers, and these are kind of so you know Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yeah.
So we used to go to Vermont because Vermont has some of the best beer in the world. So Vermont was 45 minutes from Montreal to the border. So we would go to Vermont pretty regularly, and they had Buffalo Wild Wings. So usually we'd stay for a weekend, and we'd come back, and we'd go and get like a shit ton of wings and bring them back and make it last us a few days. When we moved to Hamilton, we were driving up in Ancaster, and we saw a Buffalo Wild Wings, and we lost our minds. We had no idea they were in Canada. So Buffalo Wild Wings is something we've had a ton since we've been here. The other one is Nando's. So in Quebec, there's no Nando's, it's the Buffalo Wild Wings. And Nando's in Melbourne, it's from, I don't know where it's from. It's Portuguese chicken, but I don't think it's from Portugal.
No,
Maybe
it's South African.
It's South African original. Amazing, thank you. In Melbourne, Nando's was our shit, bro. Like if you're trying to like eat good fast food, Nando's was the jam. So here, I have been, those two were sort of like, if we're lazy meals, my girl and I would alternate between those two. And she would hate on Nando's a lot. Like, she's Jamaican, so she would always think it's got no flavor. She think it's whack compared to other chicken stuff. And I think now she's had it a bunch, she gets it. So that's good because she was pushing back, not wanting Nando's, but I need that. So those two are my definite faves. I know.
Yo, our first with Nando's is dope.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I love Nando's. Right? I love
Hell
Nando's.
Yeah. The corn is killer. The fries with the peri peri
spice
fries.
rice.
Yeah, the spicy rice, that's killer as well.
Yo, and the little custard, the custard.
Oh, the natas. Yeah, the Portuguese tarts, bro.
Yeah.
And they're warm. They fucking serve them warm. And they just, like, the pastry isn't hard. Like, sometimes the natas, you bite it, you're like, trying to rip that shit off. But
yeah, they perfect.
Bro.
They're perfect. The most perfect tart I've ever ate.
Yeah,
Straight up.
This is validating. I appreciate you, but I'm very happy that there's 2 Nando's here and there's 2 Buffalo Wild Wings here. I know it's not local stuff, like it's not from Hamilton, but those 2 things have made my year. I'm very happy that I have access to that now. It's changed the game for me.
Indeed. Let me ask you this, okay?
Yeah,
I always ask, especially artists that are from Canada or that are in Canada about this, with regards to fried chicken.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I usually have my co-host from Harlem on the show, and he's always surprised when people, artists come on the show and they say, yo, Mary Brown's has the best fried chicken over Popeyes and KFC. I'm gonna ask you if you know about fried chicken over here. Are you rocking with KFC on a Tuesday, or is it Popeyes, or is it Mary Brown's?
Mary Brown's, bro. I got something for you. KFC in Canada is trash, like trash. It's horrible compared to Australia.
Facts. And compared to the States too.
Okay, beautiful. The fries suck. The chicken's dry and whack. The batter sucks. I don't understand how a worldwide chain gets it so wrong in Canada. Popeyes is cool, but it's too oily and it makes me feel sick. I've had it in the States. I've had it here. I don't really bang with it too heavy. Mary Brown's of the 3 is leagues above it. It's like we talk about craft, craft weed, craft beer. I feel like Mary Brown's, even though it's a chain, is like still it's like higher level far. It's like the Nando's of the fried chicken specifically game, maybe. Whereas like KFC and Popeyes, I'd probably put Popeyes above KFC. It's not even a question.
In Canada, at least.
In Canada, at least. I was trying to think of some other ones, but I guess every place is different. Montreal has some killer fried chicken too, surprisingly. Out here, I've had a few, but I haven't gone too nuts with it. But yeah, I was happy I've had Mary Brown's in Toronto before. My girlfriend's mom loves it, so she's got it before, and big fan of that. So I saw a couple spots out here, so I'd be meaning to try it again, but it's not a conversation at all. It's like if you dig Canadian KFC, you haven't had it elsewhere. That's really all it is.
Facts.
Yeah, I'm glad you agree. We on the vibe.
Indeed. Let me ask you this. This channel is also boxing oriented. Okay. Saturday mornings we do a show called Wake and Bake Boxing. I mean, where we puff the finest gas and talk shit about boxers and the latest news and whatnot. Are you up to date, or do you watch boxing or any type of combat sport?
Not particularly, but I do listen to Joe Rogan a lot, and they talk about MMA a shit ton. So I'm I would say I'm mildly familiar with some stuff, so you could try me, but I don't think I would be anywhere near your level of knowledge on this.
Okay, well, let's see here, because once again, salute to the Usual Suspect 6. Tap into the usualsuspect6.com, where our boxing rankings will be updated in due time. I'm gonna give you some light work since you I don't think you know this. Well, we're gonna check the temperature of how what you know about the sport.
Let's go.
You know what I mean? Because one of the big topics actually, and I will be actually going to court, boxing night court.
Ooh, okay.
And I don't know. Do you know this guy on the screen there?
I have not seen this gentleman before.
Okay, so yeah, he's a pound for pound great. He's the current WBO champion.
Okay.
And we want to see in boxing, we like to see undisputed, and there's another undefeated champion in his division that has the other 3 belts, right? His name's Errol Spence. So it's unfortunate. Do you know who Errol Spence is?
I do not. I'm afraid.
Okay, well, they're little guys. They're 147 pounders, so maybe not. Well, okay. What about the heavyweights? Deontay Wilder. You heard of him?
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, okay. Tyson Fury. You heard of him?
Of course.
AJ.
Oh,
Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, the British guy. Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Let's see. Who else we got? Big Baby Anderson. Have you heard of him?
No,
but that hasn't reached to the stratosphere yet. I didn't think so. I was just testing the waters. I
I know, like the big 3. Are the other ones like the big 3 of boxing?
As far as the heavyweight goes, yeah, they're the cash cows of the the old adage they say, as the heavyweights go, boxing goes. So yeah, essentially they're the big 3. You could somewhat add the mainstream media will say Canelo is part of that big cash cow. Are you familiar with Canelo?
I know the name for sure. I can't picture the face, but I absolutely have heard the name.
There's a huge fight going down. A lot of the brothers. So once again, shout out to KG, the good doctor, and Supreme Beast Boxing Talks. Shout out to the Queen 71. They're gonna be down in DC tomorrow, and on Saturday night, Gervonta Tank Davis is gonna be defending his what we call a Reggie belt. Have you heard of Tank Davis?
Yeah, the Gervonta Davis absolutely sounds. Is that with the G, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that name before for sure.
Okay, you know about this. See, Tank Davis brings him out. See, listen, I ain't heard. Rest in peace to my beautiful mother. You know what I mean? Who died and who passed October 17th. You know what I mean? And we laid it to rest. November, sometime in early November or whatnot. But since then, I ain't heard from none of the brothers in the city. You know what I mean? I ain't heard none of the brothers in the city. But when Tank Davis fights, the brothers gonna be calling. Hey yo, Oddfella, yo, you watching the fight, bro? Yeah.
How goes down, man?
Yeah, yo, I got some gas with me, bro. Yo, I'm a pull up. Trust me, man. That's Tank Davis brings them out, bro. You know what I mean?
They won't give you condolences, but they'll holler when there's a fight. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so people are dedicated to this.
Yeah, that's what's up. You know what I mean? So okay.
Boxing's for real, man. I always felt like is it as popular as MMA now, or is it kind of its own little like? Because growing up, there was I grew up in the Tyson era and stuff, so like boxing was the thing. But with MMA getting as popular as it has that taken away from boxing? And is it kind of like split the fans, or is boxing like smaller, or is it just maybe I just am more exposed to MMA just around more?
There's arguments for both sides, but where our argument falls flat is when you talk about the money, and definitely there's more money on the side of boxing.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
So, yeah, go ahead.
What do you think about? So one thing I'm like, because we have a bunch of YouTube channels, so we're big into YouTube. Period. What do you think about these YouTuber boxers? Whether it's like Jake Paul, or like the ones that are doing all those like social, like, you know, TikTokers and YouTuber boxing events. Like, is that whack to you? Have they earned your respect? Like Jake or Logan? Does that like dilute the sport? Does it like bring about? Is it like this corny?
Great question. Because one of the brothers actually was talking about this as well.
Okay. And
we was recognizing that actually celebrity boxing and YouTube boxing is kind of slowly fizzled out. You know what I mean? Over the last couple, I would say 6 months or so. It was hot, definitely, during the pandemic when there was not much to watch, and then coming off of it, again, a lot of promotions were still trying to come together and put together decent fights, and then celebrity boxing and the YouTubers definitely seized the opportunity with their big fan bases and whatnot. I have respect for Jake Paul for what he's been able to do, establish himself in the game. Not so much for what he's done inside the boxing ring, but as a promoter. He's got other established boxers, their biggest payday. You know what I mean? He's one of those fighters that he's on a card. It's not just a bunch of other YouTubers on that card. He's putting other legitimate boxers on those cards and giving them their biggest paychecks. So I think he's showing the respect to the sport, and he's trying to uplift it, utilize his platform and his following to kind of have it reflect on the rest of the boxers that might not have got that notoriety or those views from his fan base, which is a younger demographic. One of the issues with boxing is that the demographic is more of an aging demographic. There needs to be more ways for boxing to get into the younger demographic. So you have stars like Tank Davis that definitely has the ability to do that. Devin Haney, he's still trying to reach that star status, but he's a young star on the come up. But guys like Tank Davis, Jake Paul, they're able to do those things. Transist to a large generation, large range demographic, and what so to speak. So
and that's good. So it's a net positive overall.
Indeed.
Okay, that's good to hear then. Like, I feel when I see Joe Rogan them talk about it, they seem to talk about Jake Paul with respect, which I was surprised about, because they're saying that kind of what you're saying as well. They think that he's not a joke as far as the fighting. Like, maybe he's not obviously not as good as the people you're talking about who are like running the show right now, but he's respectable in a way that probably you don't expect him to be for who he's been on YouTube and like the kind of guy that he is. Like, it seems like he's surprising everybody with
he's taking the sport seriously. He's not total trash inside the ring. I still want to see him in there with a legitimate fighter to see how he looks. You know what I mean? Because there's still a lot of pandering and a lot of goofy shit going on, like sanctioning bodies about to give him a belt. Like, you ain't even fought no real boxer yet, and they giving them a belt for what? Like, so the shit like that. But other than that, he's been more of a positive than a negative. I think for the sport of boxing, but I think there has been a little bit of fizzle out with these YouTuber boxers, and like I was saying on my other brother's platform, we'll probably see KSI and Jake Paul later on in 2023, later on in the year, if the numbers keep dwindling.
Okay, and you think is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing, because that's a huge fight in the YouTube stratosphere in that young world. So that puts more eyes on boxing, and both of those guys have been legitimately trying to mold their craft with regards to boxing. You know what I mean? They're just not just in there free swinging,
right?
And no, they're actually putting in a training camp and sticking to doing what real boxers do. They're professional boxers themselves. They're licensed. They got registered hands. You know what I mean? So yeah, we got to treat them as such. We just need to see them in there with other licensed, registered boxers as well.
I like that term, registered hands. That's a good song name. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, go ahead with it.
That's dope. I'm gonna shout you out on that. I like that shit. Okay, cool. Thank you for the context, man, because I don't know jack about this type of stuff, and it's cool to have the context from someone who's a real fan and who obviously you're talking about it on your platform. Like that's you know your shit. So I love that. That's great.
Indeed. But y'all know what it is. This is the Cee Listening Session. We finishing up rapid fire questions. We had a nice little lengthy talk right there. In the dig.
Sorry about that.
No, this is what it is. And this makes it even better because we stretched it out to an hour and a half, and I don't have to do much editing when I put it on the playback for the the rebroadcast on the Live and Direct show. So even more beautiful. So once again, tell the people where they can follow you at, and I'm gonna end this poll and see what we're gonna end off with.
Yes, sir. So, guys, follow me everywhere at CEEFOR, specifically Instagram and Twitter. CEETMF on Facebook and TikTok. And all the music, I'm on every platform. So it's CEETMF at .bandcamp.com for there. SoundCloud.com/CEEFOR. If you're on Spotify or Apple Music, just search for CEE Relentless or CEE by Toxic City. That'll bring it up. Unfortunately, my name isn't the most searchable, and Central C in the UK, he's cannibalizing C, or what's the guy from? Fuck, I'm having a blank. C from Goody Mob. CeeLo. He was doing it before. Now Central C's taking my shine. So check it out, man. Man, I appreciate you having me on. This has been a great conversation, great questions. Thank you for showcasing the music. Shouts to Hamilton. Thank you for having me out here. I'm excited to meet people in the scene, man, and just get amongst it. So I appreciate you.
Indeed. Once again, salute to you for pulling up, you know what I mean, and blessing us and letting us premiere this music, you know what I mean. And once again, this will be rebroadcasting on the Live and Direct show on 93.3 FM CFNU.ca. And I will also want to reiterate and invite you to the one of the upcoming Still City Cyphers, because we heard the bars definitely on display tonight. We want to hear the bars in the future in the cypher. So once again, I'm extending the invitation for y'all, for you to pull on up to that, you know what I mean. I'll get you the further information on that, and I'm going to send you the beat for that and all that good stuff. But once again, salute to everybody that pulled on up. Once again, I can't see the chat like that, you know what I mean? So salute to, I see Teach, you know what I mean? The movement fan up in here, you know what I mean? Salute, you know what I mean? Smash that like button. It helps with the algorithms, more visibility to the channel and whatnot. Yeah, y'all know what it is. We gonna be back with it. This coming Tuesday. We got my guy Fox and the beautiful Queen Sydney Sexton, the Growing Pains Listening Session, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure y'all hit that bell icon, and that will be the latest notification. Once again, I'm gonna be locked and loaded, you know what I mean, defending Sir Budrick of House Crawford, you know what I mean, against these heathens that are trying to besmirch my brother Budrick's name. You know what I mean? 5 p.m. Eastern time is going down. You know what I mean? I ain't having it. You know what I mean? I've taken an oath, Steve. I've taken an oath to protect. You know what I mean? My brother Budrick. You know what I mean? And yeah, he's not going in this time. He's not going in. Once again, speaking of people that are going in, free Tory. You know what I mean? Straight up. Free Tory Lanez.
Free Tory. With
that ain't right. You know what I mean? Salute to my homegirl Destiny, Tory Lanez's big sis, who's a dope artist herself. You know what I mean? Got the new track out. My Crody. But yeah, they definitely, the family's definitely going through it. Make sure y'all, you know what I mean? Free Tory. The appeal is up in motion right now. So yeah, hopefully something comes out of that. But yeah, 57% of y'all voted. Yeah, it was pretty obvious, you know what I mean? Most stream track, you know what I mean?
Not surprised.
And they agreed too, you know what I mean? They're taking it with Too Hungover, once again, featuring the sultry sounds of Dave Archer and Notion, you know what I mean? Once again, salute for definitely pulling up with this music and this track in particularly. But yeah, it's your favorite, get your most hater Oddfella. Salute to the chat. Salute to C. Salute to the usual suspect 6. Salute to the whole L D B C. Amen. And we giz on.
UsualSuspect6.com. Say what?
When you duck down, getting buck wild. Dear, chill off a bell with some 4 winds. Hazy OJ, and I'm feeling it more, kid. I ain't wrap it up, but I'm killing like 4/5. And baby, come tomorrow, know your drive is exhausted. Spent last night kinda black out. Woke up and I ain't going back out. Hit it like I should, then relax now. And girl, let's park our ass on the damn couch. Hey now, skip breakfast, ain't even the brunch 10. Blinds closed, sweatpants, we disgusting. Both of us a hot mess, before we even got dressed. I'm just trying to smash dip, mission accomplished. But we just
too hungover, just come over. I can't be alone, come and hide with me. Too hungover, come get closer. I won't be sober, stay inside with me. Too hungover, just come over. I can't be alone, come and hide with me. Too hungover, come get closer. I won't be sober, stay inside with me.
It all started with a text and the next thing she ain't Uber from the West End. Undressing, no time for foreplay. We start in the hallway. I swear we'd be doing it all day. Yo, so come inside with me. I got wine and weed, and you could be just whoever you decide to be. Straight role playing, ain't no covers. Don't catch feelings, we ain't no lovers. Last night I didn't sleep much, so right now I'm in the house with my feet up. Netflix, chill, roll a couple trees up. I'm trying to catch a vibe, baby, turn the beat up. You see us, it is really a game, an unpredictable thing. Is this a physical or emotional exchange? I don't even know, can't remember your name. I wanted boom, smash, peace, and I'm out of the frame, cause
too